Hey, it's Marin, and welcome to a yoga flow for fire signs. Today we will be playing with the transformative power that lies in the third chakra to change something in our practice today that can then bleed off into our life off of the mat, to transform our intention from one thing into a greater good. So from our child's pose, we're going to ripple forward, laying down on our belly into a full pranam, arms forward, offering up what our intention is for the practice, and beginning to connect with the breath, with our intention, with our energy, and the momentum that we're bringing onto the mat. From here, pressing back through all fours into a tabletop position to begin some cat-cows on our own breath. So every inhale, arching the spine, looking up for your cow pose, and every exhale, allowing the shoulder blades to fall as far away from each other as possible for your cat pose, and really making this cat-cow yours. Whether you want to flip the wrists, take undulations, beginning to ignite that transformative power of the core here in this beginning warm-up. Flipping the wrist back around, let's step the right toes back, spiral the heel down, and find a supported side plank on the left knee. You can kickstand the left foot out, raise the right arm high right out of right shoulder blade, and then if you'd like to, you can also reach for the back right ankle, creating a little circuit, that breath and that exhale, driving the right shoulder back and down. And then as you breathe in, releasing both hands down, find a three-legged dog, left leg goes high, flex the foot, find that extension, exhale, knee to nose. Breathing in, three-legged dog one more time. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. One more time, three-legged dog takes you up and back. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Three-legged dog, breathing in. This time, exhale, step the foot between the hands, back knee down, arms lift up, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So in this crescent lunge, think of getting left knee right over left ankle, spinning the biceps in, pinkies up, and biceps down, so that the shoulder blades are melting through the back as we ground through the hips. From here, right arm forward, left arm back. It's a T-twist from the center of the chest, finding one point in the center of the spine to revolve towards the back of the mat from. And then from here, really extending fingertip to fingertip before we take it into a prayer twist. So from here, thumbs find your sternum, right elbow outside left knee. You're back bending up around left shoulder still here in this prayer twist. From here, right hand finds left thigh, or left hand finds right thigh for your exalted warrior. Right bicep is curling over right ear as you look down over left shoulder, breathing into spiraling both ribs up before both hands cartwheel down into a low lunge. You step back into a downward facing dog, and notice that to get my tailbone high, I'm bending deeply into the knees no matter how much of my hamstrings I need to bend there. Then coming back through all fours for a few more cat-cows in order to reset the spine and find that recentering again. And then we'll bring left toes back behind us, right knee kickstands out, supported side plank with the left arm high the side. Adjust your hair if you need, like I did. Finding that equilibrium and that openness of the core engagement here. And then if you'd like to reach for the back ankle as I did on this side as well, feel free to connect that circuit here again. On the breath in, re-extending both leg and arm out long. And then both hand and foot down. Three-legged dog, right leg reaches high. On your exhale, take it into a knee to nose, curling within. Three-legged dog, up and back as you inhale. Right knee, right tricep as you exhale. Up and back, breathing in. Right knee, left tricep, breathing out. Final time, three-legged dog. Then exhale, right foot steps between the hands. Left knee taps down from the grounding of your left pinky toe. Rise the fingertips up high and melt the shoulder blades down for your Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So making sure that the sides of the waist knit up and out as the shoulder blades melt down. And then from here, take it into a T-twist, left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. You're expanding out of the fingertips as you find that center locus of rotation in the center of your chest. Prayer twisting, left elbow outside right knee, as thumbs find the sternum and you rotate up and around, back bending over right shoulder. Exalted warrior takes your left hand onto your right hand onto your left thigh, your left bicep curling over your left ear as you peer down over right shoulder and rotate up and around on every breath in and sit deeper on every breath out. Hands cartwheel down on the exhale, find your low lunge and step it back into a downward facing dog. Take a mindful walk to the top of the mat. We're going to move quickly here through our sun salutations, so stay with me here, yogis. Inhale, rise all the way on up, high prayer, and exhale, swan dive back down. Right leg, low lunge, steps on the way back, crescent lunge, inhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Right leg high, chaturanga, through to an up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg high, breathing in, step it between the hands, breathing out. Half lift on your inhale, forward fold on your exhale, lifts you all the way up and all the way back down. Left leg back on the inhale, crescent lunge, arms high, exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Ripple forward, plank pose on the breath in, chaturanga into an up dog, downward facing dog. Left leg high on the inhale, step it through, exhale, half lift, breathing in, forward fold, breathing out. High prayer lifts you all the way up on your inhale, then all the way back down, exhale, stepping it back, right foot, low lunge into crescent lunge, exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Plank pose on your breath in, through your chaturanga into your up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog lifts you up and back, right leg high, inhale, step it through, breath in, and forward fold on your breath out, all the way on up to stand, and exhale, forward fold. Left leg back, tap the knee down, crescent lunge as you breathe in, hands down, back into downward facing dog on the breath out. Rippling forward into your plank pose on the inhale, through your vinyasa, downward facing dog on the exhale. Left leg high, breathing in, step it between the hands, find your low lunge, and we meet in a forward fold on the breath out. All the way on up to stand for this inhale. Fold back through you on the exhale. Right foot steps back, tap the knee down, crescent lunge, inhale. Hands down, plank pose on your exhale. Through your chaturanga, stretch the exhale, up dog, and then downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, jump or step into your forward fold, top of the mat. All the way on up here, find your high prayer, and then back down into your crescent lunge on the left side on the breath out. Hands down as you exhale. Through your vinyasa, we meet in downward facing dog. Knees bend, heels lift, jumping or stepping, top of the mat, we fold. All the way on up, breathing in. All the way back down, breathing out. Planting the hands to jump, step, or journey back through your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog and start building a flow here, yogis. So right leg high on the breath in. Step it between the hands, spin left heel down and rise on up, warrior one. In this warrior one, you want your right knee over right ankle and hips pointed forward as the fingertips lift and the biceps spin down. From here, reach forward into a full pranam. Palms are open, chest lifts forward, and you make sure that your back left heel is rooted down. With your left arm, open up into a warrior two. You might need a wider stance here as right knee stays over right ankle, but your back left foot is either parallel to or turned in about 45 degrees from the back edge of the mat. Fingertips spread as heels magnetize. reach and lengthen your front leg on the breath in. Triangle pose on your breath out. Your right hand is either on your shin or up on your thigh for this pose. It can also be inside the right foot, but think more about rotating than how deeply you can get in this pose. From here, it turns into an extended side angle, bending your right knee, right forearm on right thigh as left bicep curls over left ear and left fingertips go to the front of the room. There should be a straight line from your back left foot out through your left fingertips as you revolve left ribs on top of right. From here, look forward and take a breath in. Half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana on your breath out. Right hand is down, left arm is high, and left foot stamps the back wall. Your gaze looks up towards left fingertips, and you're spiraling right ribs underneath the left and right hip underneath the left. You might also reach for the back ankle for Chapasana full moon with one or both hands if that allows you to facilitate spinning the breath more towards the left side of the body. Opening up and letting that go as you breathe in. Stepping back into a peaceful warrior on the breath out. Deeply bending right knee over right ankle as left hand is down the left thigh and you're opening up both sides of the ribs and the side waist here. On your exhale, both hands spin down, framing the right foot. We turn it into a lunge twist. Left hand is down, right hand peels high, and you're pulling left heel in towards center to spin left ribs underneath the right here. One more breath in, turns into Vashisthasana side plank on the breath out. Right leg on top, right arm is high, keeping one hip right on top of the other. And then on the breath in, we lift the top leg up and exhale, rock star. Turn yourself inside out, high-fiving the front wall. Before stepping the foot in between the hands for a supported warrior 3. Fingertips are down, back left foot flexes the back wall. Hips are neutral and in line as chest is lifted in a diver's pose. From here, feet meet, hips are low, chair pose. Utkatasana is where we meet. Weight is in your heels so your chest is lifted while your seat is low. Up to stand with the right knee, figure fouring it over the left knee. So right ankle over left knee. You can either stay in this figure four chair pose or you can take flying pigeon like I am. So the right shin is balancing over both triceps as the left foot lifts and the heart stays open in this arm balance. From here, stepping or shooting back through a three-legged dog into a vinyasa. This is kind of a lazy vinyasa from me. I didn't really do a chaturanga, but you do your thing. Left leg high as you breathe in, then step it between the hands, spin back heel down and rise on up, warrior 1. Left knee is over left ankle, back foot is down, both in 2 train tracks with the feet as hips are neutral and forward, biceps curl in and fingertips reach high. Reach into your full pranam here. Chest is open and lifted as fingertips reach. Back heel stays rooted down and hips stay neutral towards the front of the room. Right arm opens you up into a warrior 2. Left knee is over left ankle as you move left quad towards the pinky side edge of the left foot. Right heel is down and you're spreading out through the fingertips as you root down and roll down the biceps and the shoulders. Reach and lengthen, and then open up into your triangle pose. Left hand is down either on your shin or a block or your thigh to remain lifted. So you want to think about knitting inner thighs together and reaching out through right fingertips to make sure that left ribs spiral underneath the right. From here, you bend the left knee, extended side angle. Left forearm on left thigh as right bicep curls over right ear. as you externally rotate the ribs and internally rotate the hips. From here, we take it into a half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana, left fingertips down, right fingertips high, left leg is down, and you might reach for the back ankle for Chapasana if you did so on the other side. Letting that go as graceful a landing as we can muster back into a peaceful warrior. Left arm is over left ear, bending deeply into left knee over left ankle, and right arm is down the thigh as we open up both sides of the waist. Final breath in, hands spin down on the breath out, lunge, twist, right hand down, left arm is high. Taking in energy through the right palm, shooting it out through left fingertips, breathing in here before we meet in a side plank with the left leg on top and the left arm up high on the exhale. Can you keep both hips in line without falling forward or back? Top leg lifts as you inhale, rock star on your exhale, high-fiving the front wall, and then bringing it back around to the front of the mat, supported warrior 3 as you inhale. Maybe there's a micro bend in your standing leg like there is for me, so that we can get that lifted chest in capital T shape. We meet in a chair pose, heels are down, arms are high, biceps curl in, and the lower your seat, the more deeply you can bend your knees, and therefore the less tension you will have in the lower back here. Up to stand, and then crossing left ankle over right knee for your figure 4 chair pose. You can stay there, or you can take flying pigeon on this side as you balance left shin over the triceps and bring right leg long back behind you. Stepping back, meeting in a 3-legged dog and then a downward facing dog. Moving through a vinyasa, and we'll change up the flow we're taking here now. So bending the knees, lifting the heels, jumping or stepping chair pose top of the mat. Holding here as the seat is low. Can you sit 1 inch lower as you curl the biceps in and reach the fingertips high? Coming up to stand, right leg goes back, warrior 3 with a full pranam this time. So we're dialing right hip down to make sure that the hips are exactly neutral, flexing the back right foot, and holding the chest lifted like a diver's pose. Meeting in a standing split, fingertips are down, and if you're like me and you have tight hamstrings, bring in a bend of the knee so that we can reach the belly and the heart to the thighs. It's not about the extension, it's about the forward fold. From here, touching right toes down, rising on up, high lunge. Left knee is over left ankle, back right heel is high. We want that back right heel as high as possible so that the hips can sink low and the biceps can curl in without a crunching in the lower back. Prayer the hands, twist towards the left. Right elbow is outside left knee. Keep the thumbs at the sternum so that you can back bend over above left shoulder and keep rotating left ribs underneath the right. As you exhale, hands might come down for Ekapada Kundinyasana 1, an arm balance, where the hands are down and you're balancing the left thigh on the triceps as both legs splay out long. From here, we're meeting in a seated spinal twist with the left knee tucking inside the right. The right knee is tucking inside the left, opening the arms and then twisting over to the left side. If you're pregnant, take the open twist instead. From here, we're rotating towards the back of the mat, so we meet in a down dog facing the other way. Just keep on twisting from your twist. Lifting the knees, or lifting the heels, bending the knees, jumping or stepping, Utkatasana chair pose. Weight is in the heels. Make sure you can see your toes. Give them a little wiggle for extra points. Seat is low. Ribs curl in. Fingertips lift high and shoulder blades melt down. Coming up to stand, left leg goes back like a pendulum. Warrior 3 full pranam arms. Flexing back left foot as left hip is dialing in line with right so that we're neutral. Neutral in the hips is very important here. Fingertips are forward with your offering and your intention. Before we meet in a standing split, fingertips go down, left leg is high, but as you can see, it's about that heart to the thigh more so than that perfect literal standing split. I'm far from it here, and it's about meeting yourself where you're at. We tap the left toes down and meet in a high lunge, right knee over right ankle. Biceps curl in, seat is low, gaze is forward, and your back left heel is high. The higher your back left ankle, the more the inner thighs can stabilize and pull into center. Praying the hands, twisting towards the right. Left elbow is outside right knee, back bending up and around right shoulder this time. So it's an external rotation of right ribs over the left as you keep the left heel pulling in towards the midline. From here, you can either stay there or you can meet me in Ekapada Kundinasana on this side. Right thigh is balancing up on the triceps. And then we meet in our seated spinal twist, left knee inside right, as we breathe into the closed twist. I don't know why I decided to go all the way up around to this side, but we meet in the closed twist on the other side. From here, bringing both legs back behind you, stepping back into a downward facing dog, and then we ripple forward plank pose all the way down to the mat. We're coming up for a Shalabhasana locust pose, so legs, head, chest, and arms are lifting for only the core to keep you stabilized and engaged. Exhaling to lower all the way down to the mat. On your breath in, Dhanurasana bow pose. You reach for the ankles with both hands and use your breath to rock forward and back before letting it go and coming back down. Then we will flip on over to our backs for a few back bends. You can step the feet in, feet step in and lift the hips on up for a bridge pose. Exhale, let the hips come on down for a moment. Another chance at bridge pose here. This time you might interlace the hands behind the back and snuggle the shoulder blades together to find even more lift in the hips. Hips come on down. This time your final back bend, you have an option for full wheel. For full wheel, hips rise as feet and hands press down. You can stay as is, or like me, you might walk the toes in and lift a foot or a hand. And then chin into chest, we will all lower on down. Feet step wide, knees knock in, constructive rest with hand to heart and belly to release the lower back. And then we bring the knees into the chest on the inhale. And take a supine twist over to the left on the exhale. So hips go an inch to the right as knees fall to the left. You splay the arms and look over right shoulder. Coming into a half frog, right knee stays bent, coming onto the belly with the left leg long out behind you. Gazing over left shoulder. Evening things out, so going through frog on the left side. Left knee bends, right leg goes long, you look over right shoulder. Now, left leg and right leg will move on over to your supine twist on the right side. So left leg is on top and your hips are a bit towards the left as you peer over the left shoulder and you twist towards the right. Knees come back through center, give yourself a hug, all the way on up to sit. Our last pose is Baddha Konasana butterfly, so soles of feet kiss, knees open wide, and you curl in as deep as your breath allows for. If you'd like a block underneath the knees or the third eye, that is welcome here for your curling in final hip opener. Slowly peeling up as you breathe in. Shavasana is your breath out. Thanking yourself for showing up here on the mat, for using the fire of transformation always available to you to be fully present and fully embodied in your own personal power here and now. So if you like this, like, subscribe, hit post notes, do all the things. Have an awesome Shavasana, and I will see you in the next video.